Yo man peeps, it's non-stop gaming action bringing that explosive urban gameplay, bro.
Yo, what's good peeps? Well, I recently got hold of Tekken 7 and whilst I'm not the biggest Tekken fan on the planet, I was looking forward to the release and wanted to kind of give you my first quick impressions of the game so far. Just as a quick disclaimer, I've literally played a couple of hours so far and I'm going to aim to drop a more in-depth review of the game, so maybe towards the end of the week, definitely look for that coming out. But so far, I just wanted to let you know my initial feelings and opinion about the game and whether on the surface it's worth buying or not, which might change when I construct my review, so maybe not take everything literally, but make sure you keep it locked. Yo, well first off, and without beating behind the bush, when I first played Tekken 7, I'm not even gonna lie, I wasn't really that impressed, especially with the game mechanics. When it comes to 3D fighting games like Tekken, I've always kind of preferred the likes of Dead or Alive and Soul Calibur, or even the more recent King of Fighters on the PlayStation 4. Now this might be due to my lack of skill for the Tekken franchise, but my stigma for the games have always been that it felt more like a button basher, so I've gone into this particular game maybe on the defense to thinking that this wasn't really gonna top my preference in terms of the fighting games on the next gen systems. Usually I find with fighting games that I'm pretty decent and grasp the game mechanics quickly, but when I first played Tekken 7, I found that this natural flair I have for fighting games wasn't there, and this wasn't as quickly or easily to adapt to when it came to the controls. Tekken 7 doesn't really strike me as a pick up and play game and was extremely frustrating at times trying to get the hang of things. Maybe the reason I had this experience with Tekken 7 on the first impressions is simply because I don't really play Tekken games that much, so not really used to the fighting style and the overall game mechanics. To make matters a little bit worse from my experience, there were a few annoying elements, such as when you're on the floor, your opponent can literally keep kicking you and draining your energy, and it just felt like I had no control. Obviously this is me speaking from a first impressions point of view while still trying to learn the game, so definitely don't take everything I'm saying too literal. And with that being said, like most things, the more time you spend on the game is the more and more you're going to get the technical understanding of how the game was intended to be played, and you will quickly get to the realization that you can pull off some really remarkable combos in Tekken 7, and there are so many great moves to be discovered. Overall, maybe my main issue with the game on first impressions was that I was coming into the game fresh after playing the likes of Street Fighter 2 on the Nintendo Switch and also Injustice 2 on my PlayStation 4. Trust me, the experience of all three games is totally different, and especially when it comes to Tekken 7, if you compare it to those games, you potentially might go into it with a little different frame of mind, and that's potentially what made me think that this wasn't really the game for me at first. Keeping it real, the more that I've been playing the game now is the more and more I'm starting to really get a great feel for Tekken 7 and now starting to appreciate the game for what it is. Whilst on the surface I thought that this wasn't going to be my cup of tea, I've started to grow more and more fond of the game as times progressed. Is Tekken 7 better than Injustice 2 or Street Fighter? Well, as I mentioned before, they are all pretty different type of fighting games, and I suppose that's what makes it good and interesting, as they all kind of give you something different when it comes to the fighting game genre. So to wrap things up, I will say that Tekken 7 has kind of lived up to my personal expectations for the game. As I did mention at first, I did think that the game experience was a little bit on the mediocre side of things, but as time has progressed, I found more enjoyment in the title, and it seems that it definitely will have that longevity that I hoped it would have. I still haven't dived too heavily into the game as of yet, like the online fights, and not ventured too far into the story mode, so maybe by the time I get around to doing my review for the game, my opinions may change, but for now, this is definitely a great fighting game. Anyway peeps, I'm going to leave you to enjoy a little bit of the gameplay in the background. Do let me know in the comments below if you've got around to playing Tekken 7 and what do you think of my first impressions. If you enjoyed this video, do smash the like button and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And until next urban gameplay video, we definitely say peace out peeps.
Cute.
Round 1. Fight.
Hey! round. Fight. KO. You win.
Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for more cool urban gameplay videos.